Welcome to another video. This is going to be a team selection video for Game Week 7 in FPL. We're going to be looking at how Game Week 6 went and then my possible transfer in Game Week 7, or will I be activating the wildcard? Without further ado, let's head straight into the video. Before we begin, I just want to say a few things. So a massive shout out to everyone who helped me reach 6,000 subscribers the other day during our live stream in UCL Fantasy. I really appreciate all the support that you guys have given, and we literally only just reached 5,000 subscribers and 4,000, and yet we've now reached the 6,000 milestone. So obviously a massive thank you to everyone, and some of all the new channel members, Rock and Roll, Rodrigo Arias, all the people who've been sending super chats, who have been constantly supporting the channel and giving ideas and feedback and comments and just helping the channel grow. So I really appreciate it. And another thing is, as you can tell from my voice, I am ill and I've been completely gone. My voice has been going for, I'd say, the past week or so, and now it's literally just on another level. So if this continues, if I don't get better enough in time, I probably won't be able to do the normal streams, because that's literally, I'd like to go 2 hours or more talking, and even an hour I'd probably struggle with at this moment in time, as you can tell from the condition of my voice. So literally I'm hanging on by the bare minimum, but I'm trying to get this team selection video out for you lot so you can see my plans. But unfortunately, the preview and rating your teams, I'm just not able to do those as well, because I'm just not in a condition to do so at the moment. But I'm trying my best to recover and get those out at least ahead of Game Week 8 potentially, and the team selections and all of that good stuff. In Game Week 6, I experienced my first red arrow of the season, a very narrow one. I'm still around 56,000 in the world, and I would have taken that around this stage of the season, to be honest. 50 points, it wasn't the worst, but of course, I wouldn't say it's something ideal, to be honest. It was a very low scoring week overall, and the few kind of hauls I did get, I would obviously take and appreciate. I actually once again went with Ben Foster over Sanchez, and once again I ended up actually gaining points. So this time round I only gained 1 point, but then in Game Week 5 I also gained 2 from that decision, and that's mainly because of the save points. Sanchez actually got a bonus point, I think because he created a big chance against Crystal Palace, but no save points. Didn't get the clean sheet, so overall he only got 2, which is obviously very strange. He also got a yellow card, so yeah, very strange. Of course, they did get the bonus, but doesn't matter anyway. I went with the right decision in the end, but really it's just a minimal difference. You look at the defense, very happy with Cody, got the clean sheet, but then you look at the rest. I mean, this is what I mean. Cody was the only defender who actually came up and did the goods for me, because Ayling was injured. Then you have White, who conceded against Spurs, which, to be honest, I mean, Arsenal still were really good that game. Trent conceded 3 to Brentford, and then you look at Luke Shaw. I mean, he got a yellow card and then he got injured early on in the game against Aston Villa, and that turned out to be a nightmare for Manchester United. Then the midfield, I mean, this is a bit better, I guess. Sarr, brought him in, he got 2 bonus points, he got the goal, so very happy with him, and he's just, I'd say he's one of the best picks, I'd say, for Game Week 7, but beyond that, it's very difficult to include him on a wildcard team. I still think he can be really good, but Watford's fixtures are just awful, and I am considering maybe going without him when I do wildcard in the end. Of course, I'll let you guys know what I end up doing. But then we have Greenwood. I wanted to keep him because he has a good record against Aston Villa, and I also thought that he could do well just in general. Even though obviously he has regressed with Ronaldo coming in, I still thought he could do a decent job, and I just thought it was an awkward time to get rid of him. And unfortunately he did blank, but once again, you know, I'd say he looked even sharp in this game. He was very selfish, and there were times where he could have passed to his teammates, including Cristiano Ronaldo, which obviously was the case, but the other way round against West Ham United. Then we have Jota, finally scored, but should have scored more. I mean, it's the story pretty much of his season. He should be getting more points for us, but unfortunately just hasn't been able to kind of convert those underlying stats into more points. But at least he got a goal. You know, we'll take that. No bonus points. And same with Mohamed Salah, who, to be honest, he also missed a big chance, a one-on-one. But Salah, once again, you know, he reached 100 Premier League goals for Liverpool, and even during midweek in the Champions League, he scored twice. This guy is so consistent, and it's just unbelievable, you know, the levels he's been reaching in the past few seasons. Then we have Benrahma, and you'd say a bit disappointing, but even got a bonus point, you know, despite not scoring or assisting. I'll take that. And Benrahma is still a good option for Game Week 7, but beyond that, just like Sarr, I just don't know if he has the fixtures to kind of sustain his early season form. And then we have Mikel Antonio, who, to be honest, I still feel differently about him. Despite the fact that he has the same fixtures as Benrahma, I still think Antonio can sustain it because of his underlying stats and also just the form he's in. He's absolutely sensational at the moment, and he's one of the first names on my team sheet on a wildcard, to be honest, despite the poor fixtures. Then we have Cristiano Ronaldo as captain, so that was a captaincy fail, and I believe the second one of the season, because Bruno as well, I captained in Game Week 2. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. If he did take the penalty in the dying embers of the game, you probably would have backed him to score, despite Martinez's mind games, which are just absolutely elite, to be honest. But yeah, Ronaldo, disappointing captaincy. Should have gone for Salah or Antonio, but not a huge difference of points. Obviously, Antonio ended up being the best option. And then, yeah, on my bench, as I discussed, Sanchez, White, Ayling, and Richardson. Not much to talk about there. So now looking ahead to Game Week 7, this is how I look like at the moment. Sanchez in goal against Arsenal at home. I could also play Foster against Leeds, but Backman should be back, although I did say that last week, didn't I? And it wasn't the case. And Sanchez against Arsenal, I'm not really too confident in, despite Brighton being joint second pretty much. I would expect Arsenal to score and possibly win that game. Brighton actually have a lot of injuries, including Basuma, so let's wait and see how that develops. But Arsenal actually are going to be without Xhaka for 6 to 8 weeks now, and that is obviously insignificant in FPL terms. But I still think that he makes Arsenal a better team with Thomas Partey in the midfield, because now Arsenal have to rely on either Lokonga, Maitland-Niles or El Neni, so Brighton can actually control the game a bit better now and possibly even win the game and keep a clean sheet. You never know, but I'd still expect Arsenal to score. Then we have Luke Shaw. He's an injury doubt. He didn't even play, or he wasn't even in the squad against Villarreal. Then you have Trent Alexander-Arnold. He sustained a thigh injury, I believe, so he is looking like a serious doubt for the Manchester City game and should be out for several weeks. But of course, we do have an international break, so he should be back by, you'd say, Game Week 8 or Game Week 9, and you'd want him back for that Game Week 8 fixture against Watford. But if he does miss that, there is a case of even going without him on a wild card and then bringing him in around Game Week 10, for example. Then we have Conor Cody at home to Newcastle, a decent fixture, especially with all the injuries that Newcastle have, but they're still capable of scoring, especially with the form that Saint-Maximin is in, and of course he's been a great option recently. But yeah, Cody I think could be decent this week, but you look at my defence overall, it is down to the bare bones. I wouldn't mind Ben White coming in for Shaw or Trent, even Ayling, despite how poor Leeds have been defensively, but the problem is, I just don't even know if Ayling's going to be back in time for Game Week 7, so I could potentially have 3 injuries, and I might have to make a defender transfer if I decide not to wildcard. Then you look at my midfielders, pretty happy with it this week, but then going forward, I wouldn't want to keep Greenwood, even possibly Ismaila Sarr and Benrahma, and you could say Jota. Salah's the only one that I would definitely have on a wildcard. The rest could make way. I would want Rafinha, but let's wait and see what his injury situation is looking like. But I think all of these players can do well this week. They have good fixtures other than Salah and Jota, but Salah's fixture proof. Jota could still get a goal, you never know, but will even start. Firmino came on against Porto and scored twice, so that could be an interesting one, and you would expect Firmino to start against Manchester City, same with Salah and Mane, so Jota could be missing out. And then you look at my front line, I've got Antonio. I might actually even captain him, same with Salah because of the form he's in. It's just that fixture against City, that's what puts me off Salah. But Antonio against Brentford, if it is an open game like Brentford against Liverpool was, then I'd seriously consider Mikel Antonio. But at the moment I've got it on Cristiano Ronaldo. He scored again, a late winner against Villarreal, and I think he can do well against Everton, who, to be honest, in terms of expected goals conceded, I think they're right up there in the league. I think they're second. But in terms of actual goals conceded and some underlying stats defensively, they are actually pretty average and mid-table. But still, I think Ronaldo's fixture proof, of course, and he can do well against Everton. Maybe even outscore Lukaku against Southampton. But still, going forward, Ronaldo to Lukaku looks like a sensible move, but maybe not one that I make this week. Once again, it could be Foster coming in for Sanchez, and Ben White could definitely be coming in for Trent or Luke Shaw. I'll have no problems with that. And let's see what happens with Ayling, but he's also a serious doubt for Game Week 7. And that is pretty much how my team is looking like. I'm not going to change too much. If I don't wildcard, I'll probably be making only one transfer, possibly a hit, but I just don't see the need when I'm most likely going to be wildcarding in Game Week 8 anyway. And let's actually speak about my transfer plans. So With Marcos Alonso, there's a big conundrum now surrounding him. He came off pretty much around half-time, and then as soon as he came off, they conceded to Juventus when Chilwell came on. But to be honest, it had nothing to do with Chilwell, but it just makes the whole situation interesting. Was Alonso kind of rested for the game against Southampton? How is Tuchel going to kind of approach this? It's a very difficult one, but I think there's too many kind of question marks surrounding Marcos Alonso following the Juventus game in the Champions League, where Chelsea did lose to the Italian side. So I think going from Trent to Rudiger would make more sense, because Trent is probably going to be missing game week 7. Otherwise, I would have kept him and probably done Luke Shaw to Rudiger. But another thing I could do actually is get rid of Jota and get Rafinha in, because it's only for one game week anyway. But once again, that depends on the injury news surrounding the Brazilian, and I would love to have him against Watford in game week 7. But let's wait and see. Is he fit enough? And because if he isn't, I think it would be a waste of a transfer, especially if I took a hit, which I just don't really see the need of doing. So that's pretty much it. In terms of the transfer plans, either Rudiger would be coming in for Trent Alexander-Arnold or Rafinha in for Jota. Let me know what you think you would prefer. In terms of the wild card, if I decide to end up activating it before the Game Week 7 deadline, it would be very similar to the best wildcard team you saw the other day. I would make a few changes. Marcos Alonso perhaps could become Diaz. Not ideal when you look at, for example, the fixture this week, but long term I think double City defence could be the way to go. And with Chelsea, I'd be happy enough with Rudiger, although there's still Christensen. If Reece James is out for quite a while, then I think Christensen could be a very good option. Should get more minutes. Azpilicueta could be moving to right wing back, and Christensen should be more nailed than he was before. So that's another way I could look at it, but I just think Marcos Alonso and Reece James are just far too much, I'd say, headaches going into the future. Maybe Alonso will continue to start now, but Chilwell, it's only a matter of time, in my opinion, before he gets some minutes and some opportunities, to be honest. And then Rafinha, I think I'd love to have him on a wildcard anyway, but if he's not available for Game Week 7, then it just doesn't make sense. But if I have a bit of kind of positive injury news surrounding Luke Shaw or Ayling, I could just play free at the back there with Ben White, possibly, let's say, Luke Shaw and Cody. And if not, it could be Ayling. And then I could just go with the midfield, make that transfer, Jota to Rafinha, and then I could go kind of more attacking and then play 3-5-2. So that's what I am thinking of. But yeah, in terms of the wild card, if I do play it, I'll probably make a change at the back and possibly maybe invest more money into my attack and have an, say, Maximan or an Ivan Toney, who I think long term is probably the best pick around his price on a wildcard, despite some tough fixtures coming up. But thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed it, smash the like button and subscribe if you're new around here. And once again, I'll try to get better as soon as possible so I can do more videos and live streams, and hopefully I'm back in time for the live streams on Friday and Saturday. But if not, unfortunately I'll have to pass, and then I'll be back definitely for Game Week 8. But thank you very much for your understanding and for your patience and also your support. A massive shout out to everyone for helping me reach 6,000 subscribers, and already we've got a few or 100 more since then, so hopefully we can get to 7,000 very soon, and then kind of aim for 10,000 by the end of the season. That would be very good. So thank you very much for watching this video, and I appreciate all the support. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram. I am active on those platforms too, so even if I'm not able to speak and do YouTube videos, you can find me on there as well. And good luck with Game Week 7, good luck with FPL, and I'll see you next time.